Hello, everybody, and welcome to /invite, your favorite World of Warcraft podcast. And today we have a very special guest. We have Sarthe joining us to talk about all about SoD and Classic and Cataclysm and all the things
Hi,
WoW.
Sarthe.
And man,
I guess.
we first met each other at BlizzCon, and he's like twice my height. It's pretty crazy.
He's very tall.
And yeah, like ever since then, it's been like Classic hype and SoD and all of the things have been happening. So I guess we can just introduce ourselves. I'm Chocolate, and I have my co-host Adam, and then of course Sarthe. If you want to take a second to, I'm sure everybody knows who you are already, but just to be safe.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. What's up, guys? Thank you for having me. I'm really hyped. I was really stoked when you reached out about this, and I was really stoked to meet you guys like in person at BlizzCon. Adam, looking at Adam makes me inspired to want to work out again, and then now you're inspired me to want to cook again, Chocolate. I've been so bad at it since Season of Discovery has ruined my life. It's been so fun though. This is the most fun I'm having in WoW since like Classic first came out. So if anyone doesn't know me, I make guides and content on YouTube and things on TikTok that's not about World of Warcraft. That's not even a joke. The same type of things I do with WoW, but like if I play another game, I just don't post it on my YouTube. I just make a video on TikTok. And over on Twitch, you can find me at twitch.tv/Sarthe. But I'm hyped. I'm excited to be here and talk.
Thanks for
Yeah,
being on.
wow.
I remember you making
coming
like
on, man.
Hogwarts Legacy guys too, and like I saw you did the GTA video and stuff like that. I'm like, damn, he dabbles in other things. Like he's not afraid to branch out.
It started with Hogwarts Legacy, actually.
Yeah.
My PC couldn't handle streaming it, like no joke. My PC was just freezing. But I have a better PC now, but I had a 1060 in it, and it just was an old PC, and I felt bad that I was playing a lot of games off. I was cutting my streams short, and like I was like just leaving WoW to go play Hogwarts Legacy, and I was like, I should probably like make a video or something. And then it just worked. I made one video, and like the next day, my now fiance was like, your video has like 100,000 views, and I was like, holy shnikey. And then I went to a concert that night, and my brother was like, dude, I saw your Hogwarts video. It had like 200K, and I was like, dude, what? No way. Sick. And I hadn't looked, and he pulled it up. It was at 1.3 million.
Oh shit.
Damn, that's sick, dude.
So I was like, I should probably, I guess, make some more content.
Make some variety game content. Yeah. I feel like WoW content on TikTok is very it's very niche. It's like almost like too niche.
It doesn't do well.
It doesn't do very
the
well.
audience is too old. Yeah. Or TikTokers are usually younger. Yeah. That's whatever. It is what it is.
And we play boomer games, so it's like
That's true. Yeah, I feel bad because like I've like just off of the WoW topic and into the Hogwarts Legacy topic for years. I have literally fantasized about an open world Harry Potter RPG, pick your journey type story game, whatever, and it finally became a reality. And I didn't even finish it. You know why?
No.
World of Warcraft.
Why? Oh my! Of course. Like WoW always sucks me back in. This was the first time I've tried other games before, and I usually always just get sucked into back to WoW and never get to finish the games. This was the first time. It literally was the first time in years, and I think it was during a lull during like Old War or something. So I was like, it worked out perfectly for me. But it was the first time in years that I actually finished another game. And the only reason why I did too was because I started making videos and like trying new things. And I was like, what is the most damage you could possibly do with one hit or something, you know? So then this year was crazy for games. Cause then it was like, right after that was the Star Wars game, which was epic. Then it was Tears of the Kingdom. So I bought a fucking Switch for that, which was fun. Mm-hmm. And then Diablo, which I loved early on. I knew I would get burnt out, they can't get me back.
Diablo's like a 2-week game max. Like
you go super
weeks,
hard.
It's like insane, and then it's like, all right, how many microtransactions can they get me with? You know, like
yeah. No, I enjoyed it. I really liked Sorcerer, but I did the story, and then after that, like the rest of the end game content, like kind of just like went over my head. I'm like, what is even like this is too much. Like I don't even know what's going on. Like
Sork was also the weakest end game class. You got fucked. Yeah, by far, you got screwed. Even with like the Ice Lance builds, but I got really into I got into that also, and I was like making guides on that, and then literally Season of Discovery just. I can't even think about other things.
It's stolen the hearts of America, Sarthe. It honestly has, man. Like, Season of Discovery is like walking up, shaking hands, and kissing babies, and it's like, it's.
Yeah.
I would vote for it. I thought that's all I'm gonna say. I vote for Season of Discovery. I vote for it.
Yeah, 2024. Yeah. I was talking about this with Chocolate on a call, like literally just like us and our other friends, like just while we were playing the game, and I was saying something like how for years, like the classic like boomer demographic of World of Warcraft players have been like crying out about how shitty retail is and like how retail's like never going to get back to the way it was, blah blah blah. But like in reality, retail's actually very heavily catering to this new generation of WoW players that like enjoy the kind of content that's in that game.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Now that classic WoW is in a very good spot, it's almost like this is the WoW 2 that we've always wanted, you know?
Dude,
so like we're happy now, retail players are happy, and we're kind of just like living
coexisting.
Like
Everyone's happy.
You know what I'm saying? Like
everyone's happy in the Warcraft space right now, I feel like.
Yeah, for the first time in a really long time, like everyone's like retail's good, and then like classic is great. Like, I mean, if you look at Reddit, nobody's happy because a hunter pet killed them or something. But like, but like, I was talking with Agrin about this at BlizzCon, and he was like, there's a lot of like mixed feedback about Season of Discovery and like on the forums early on before like literally as it was right after it was announced. And I was skeptical when it was first announced, and then I literally ran across a BlizzCon to go play it right at first.
Yeah.
Like literally it was like they announced it, and then 4 minutes later or something we were live streaming the first playtest of it.
Yeah.
So I had a question.
Sven like casually walked across.
I didn't play it at BlizzCon for many reasons.
Yeah.
One, I didn't have a media pass. Two,
stupid line.
I didn't want to wait in the line. And three, I didn't want to play it before it came out. I wanted it to be like as fresh as possible, right?
Yeah.
What I guess like because I think it was just like the level 25 basically raid. Like was it just like a couple of bosses from that raid? Is that what the playtest was?
Yeah, it was the first 3 bosses, and it was like classes were tuned in much a different way. Like S-Fan was double the DPS of anyone. He went into BlizzCon the night before and got set up on a PC with recount so that he could have a damage meter. It was like, yeah, he was like Paladin was super overtuned. But all of the classes were like overtuned in their own way, and it was just literally that put all of my fears and qualms at rest just playing it even in the raid. So I tried out rogue tank, and I tried out mutilate rogue, and I tried out mage and hunter and warrior, and I was like, this is just so fun. It feels very much like classic but with a fresh spin. And like I think all of those qualms have been put to rest. Of everyone was like so worried, is like, oh, it's not even class, it's just barely doing anything. Like no, it's like fully kind of a classic plus.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and what's crazy is like it's so popular already, and it's been a couple weeks, right? It's been like a month since it came out, about 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's so much left to be discovered if we're gonna be punny about it.
Yeah.
But we're not even in phase 2 yet, and there's like people are like complaining about class balance and things like that, but I don't think classic WoW is ever really like super focused on class balance. Like some classes are just better than others, but some classes are more used for utility and buffs and things like that. And I think phase 2, I think it's really gonna open up even more, just like how many different builds you can actually fit into this game. And 9 classes is gonna feel like 18 classes. I feel like is what's gonna happen.
I feel like it already is feeling like there's so many other classes, and like WoW's never been classic WoW. No version of WoW has ever had a perfect balance where everyone was the same DPS or something, right? Yeah. And classic WoW has always been warrior, and like now it's warrior again, but like it just takes some skill, and hunter takes no skill. So like everyone is just like up in arms against hunter, when it was like that's not even the best class, not even the second best class. Rogues are destroying hunters on the meters, and
it's just because they got hit by a scorpion and they got 2-shot. That's what happened. Like they're just mad. They got ganked, and you know it is what it is.
Yeah. What are you guys playing even? Like, what have you been enjoying?
So I first started off with I wanted to go Giga Chad Boomkin for my first character. I didn't care about parsing or like I didn't care what was good or not. I wanted to go Boomkin. I just wanted to play Boomkin because it was fun, and it's very funny now. Like then we got the nice little Star Surge buff, and you know it's
crazy.
It's great. And so now I'm like, okay. Once I hit 25, I was like, oh, I'll play some Feral. I'll just kind of like try it out just to see what happens. And I was like, you know what? Like Feral's fun and like Wild Strikes is really cool, but just something about Boomkin, man. It's just comfy. And then now I leveled up a Tank Shaman, so I have 2 at 25 on Crusader Strike. And then my wife is also playing WoW as well. She's also playing Classic with me too. And so she leveled up a Shaman as well, Resto Shaman, which is unfortunate because Resto Shamans are in a tough spot right now.
It's funny too because you started with Boomkin, which is like one of the worst.
Yeah.
It was like one of the worst by far too.
And now I'm doing Tank Shaman.
Tank Shaman, it's like the god, you know.
And now I'm on Wild Growth doing a Paladin. So
also god. So yeah, you're loving it.
I also play Paladin in retail, so it makes sense for me to play Paladin in Classic too.
Paladin tank in retail, or
I do whatever. And any Paladin spec I can play. I prefer Ret.
I love Ret right now.
I play Ret for Paladin. It feels good.
Love Ret. Yeah. But right now I started. Okay. I am like
you're an altaholic, man. You're a level 6 altaholic, dude.
Altaholic, yeah. So this is why it took me until TBC pre-patch to actually get to level 60 in Classic WoW. Yeah. Because I never figured out what class actually suited me the best.
Yeah.
So like at that point I had I want to say like 5 or 6 level 20 to 40 characters or something, like level characters. You know what I'm saying? So like I had 20 alts and then I was just like, fuck it. Priest seems like the most fun. I'm just gonna make this character and get it to level 60, and then that's the character I got to level 60 in Classic. So going into Season of Discovery, I didn't play Priest because I felt like I knew Priest well enough. I wanted to try something different. I only had like a level 40 warrior in Classic. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make a female dwarf warrior and name her Gail Lewis. So I made Gail Lewis on the RP server, and then I got to level 13. And then I turned around and I said, yo, what's everybody doing? All my friends. We're all on Crusader Strike Horde. So I'm like, okay,
gotta restart.
Do I restart now? What do I do? So I just made a character. I made a priest. I ended up making a priest anyway. Undead, Forsaken Bake, Shadow Priest. And I got
Forsaken Bake
the other day. Yeah, Forsaken Bake. But now
nice.
Now we're on Wild Growth going.
Wait, Shadow Priest? Did you say Shadow Priest?
The Shadow Priest, yeah.
You guys are just.
Listen, we're fun maxers, dude. We like to have fun.
Yeah. You know what? I respect it. I appreciate that a lot more than me. I mean, I really like melee classes, which just works out perfectly as they just do the most damage in Classic, you know? So like I got lucky as like my fun maxing turned out to be like the min maxing. Yeah. I got super lucky with Wrath. I didn't think DK would be that good. And I was just like, I'm going DK. And it was like, all of a sudden it was like, wow, this flavor of the month enjoyer just playing DK and making the guides. I was like, no, it's just, now it's good. I'm just making the guides and it happened to work.
Yep.
But yeah, it's like, you guys are just choosing what you like and enjoying it. I love that. Shadow Priest still needs buffs. It's still like I think that's the only class that I just right before this did a whole tier list of like definitively ranking the classes. Like at this point, there's no real question in how they should be ranked to each other.
Yeah.
So like I definitively ranked them really, and Shadow Priest is the only one I was like, it still needs a buff. Like everyone else can wait till next phase, and Shadow Priest like isn't this like.
I was actually gonna ask you about that because you know obviously like you've been playing Classic WoW for forever, and I was mainly a retail guy up until Classic WoW came out, and then I played Mage and was having fun, and then the guild fell apart, and I was like, well, I don't know what to do anymore. So then I went back to retail WoW, and then was mad about retail WoW because it's retail WoW, and then I played Baldur's Gate 3 for like 3 weeks, like nonstop.
I missed it.
Oh, dude, it's worth it. If you haven't played Baldur's Gate 3, just suffer through the combat for like the first 6 hours, and you'll get way better at it, and then it's way more fun, and you can just like do crazy things like stacking 100 explosive barrels and just shooting it, and
it looks
blowing
so
up the
fun.
world, blowing up the goblins. Like it is so much fun. I played that for like 3 weeks straight nonstop. I put like 80 hours into the first into the first part of the campaign, just like exploring every part of it. So yeah, definitely that. But then after that, back to retail, and now Season of Discovery, and I'm just like, I'm all in on Season of Discovery. Like I haven't touched retail. I logged onto retail today to resurrect Adam for the trader for the trader tender thing for like the monthly rewards. I'm like, I just don't care about retail right now. Like I just want to play classic. Like
all I wanted to do in WoW this month was just fill that bar, just so I can say that I don't know when I'm getting the like full year reward for the traders post, whatever. But like I did December, I'm done, and I'm never go back to retail.
You did the whole year.
Yeah, I did the whole year of the traders post thing. So I want to get that stupid ass transmog. But
they got you, dude. They fucking got you.
Dude, they got me. Yeah, I had the busiest fucking year of my life. 2023 was a bitch and a half, but somehow I managed to get every month's traders post bar filled.
Yeah,
dude. Listen,
what is that about?
It's Bobby's world, and we're just living in it, dude.
Like not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, back to my question. I totally got sidetracked there. What do you think is going to be like the up and coming quote unquote flavor of the month spec coming in phase 2? Like, what do you think is going to be the most improved, the unsung hero coming into phase 2 of Season of Discovery?
That's a great question, actually. So I think in PvP, it's interesting because these are two of the worst classes now. In PvP, the most improved becomes Shadow Priest and Ellie Shaman, because they could just like, one, you have Shadow form and you can penance in Shadow form unless they change it, which is just a full heal instantly, kind of just out of nowhere. And it's a laser beam. And then also, I think that Ellie Shaman with like, I think it's called it might be called Elemental Mastery in Classic. I'm spacing because I didn't play much Ellie Shaman. And they just, that with Overload, they're literally just gonna like one-shot people like crazy. So in PvP, those are like the unsung heroes on the rise. Warriors will also look a lot better in PvP. In PvE, the classes that I think will do a lot better than they are now, that's a good question. I think it stays relatively close, unless we, like, without knowing what the runes are, just knowing like the talents and things we get, like Feral Druid is going to have a great time. They have 5% crit, or they bring crit for the entire group. So you want to be in the Feral's group because you have Wind Fury and crit. And Warriors only get better.
Yeah.
Warrior runes, I was saying this on stream. Warrior runes, there's two runes, that one that gives them 20% extra damage modifier, and one gives them a 25% damage modifier. Both of those, I guarantee you get nerfed. There's 0% chance they stay the same, because Warriors always just like, they scale like this, right?
It's exponential growth for Warriors.
Yeah. And they're already exponentially better than every other class, as if you have gear and you play right. So they have to get nerfed. They have to get nerfed. That is the one class that like, it's like, I don't want to see anyone get nerfed. I want everyone to be like gods, but like they'll still be gods. They just have to be rained down into like reality. So I see Warriors being probably still the best class. And I think like, I love the idea that casters would be good, but it's classic WoW. So like, I don't.
Cause isn't the problem with casters is just the hit chance and resist, and for bosses, is that like what it boils down to, or like why is there like such like a big difference between like casters and melee? Because I know like obviously melee get like benefits from their weapon, right? Like
yeah. So there's an argument that casters basically only scale off of spell ranks. So like your next rank of Shadow Bolt could be like rank or level 26. So you're missing out on like 40 more damage per hit. Mm-hmm. I think that argument is valid, but also kind of invalid, because most casters are purely using runes which scale with your level. So like that's not really the reason why casters are worse. It's just casters, like the bosses are only 2 levels higher. For some reason, they had 75 resistance added to them for a long time. That was whoever had that idea, that was like the worst idea ever. That was crazy. So I'm glad that got brought down, and that probably won't be a thing later, but it really is just melee classes just always scale better with gear. They've always scaled better with gear, particularly warrior. If warrior can hit faster and hit harder and crit more, all of those give them more rage, allowing them to do more abilities. Whereas a caster, if you hit faster and hit harder,
you just run out of mana faster.
Yeah, just spam your ability more, you know? So like there's that in the sense of just them always being good, and then there's always the sense of overall, which is where warriors and rogues never have to stop for mana. They never have to stop. They're always regenerating their resources. So like in a raid, if you're trying to move quickly by any means, warriors, one, they can cleave consistently at all times, which is why they're better than rogues. Like that's like the main why they're better. And two, it's like both of them can just keep pressing W. You just always press W. It's like an inherent thing in the class is that you're always pressing W. And in like Wrath, casters can be really good, but there's no mana issues in Wrath, right? In TBC, casters were okay, and that was just warlocks because they could life tap while you were running. That was it, you know. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I think physical DPS still reigns supreme, but I know that they're looking at tuning, and I think they're gonna like make everything a little bit more even, like try to make things more even. But again, like we've never had anything even. Like
I don't think an MMO
Warcraft
should be even. Like like it's if everyone's the best, then no one is the best. Like
then you get retail.
Well, even in retail,
it's
like
not even, but like you know,
even in retail, there's
but even in retail, there's
your S tier, you have your demon hunters, and then you have your Wind Fury monk or your Windwalker monk, whatever they're called. Yeah. Like there's
stupid Wind Fury monk.
Yeah.
I've always been like, it's funny you're talking about the difference between like caster and like melee and stuff. Like I love classic because I feel like casting in classic just to me is just like more fun than retail casting classes. And then whenever I play a casting class, I gotta be like, all right, like this is fun. I gotta take a break from this and then go to a melee because I'm an altaholic. So I'll go play a caster, and then I'll go to a warrior or something. And I'm like, all right, now it's time to go back to my mage. No, I'll go back to my rogue.
I think the best part about like playing a caster in Classic WoW is like every spell feels important. Like you're not like that. Your rotation is Shadow Bolt or it is Wrath or whatever you're playing, and every time you press that button, you know like that is your damage. Like in retail WoW. 7 buttons light up and you don't know which one to press, and
it's true.
You're like, okay, like I guess I'll press Star Surge again. I don't know what I'm doing.
In classic everything feels really impactful. Every button you press feels impactful, and there's a lot more like cadence to it because like your ability is like a 2-second cast or something, right? So it's like you're committing to using this ability, and I really like that. One thing I was going to ask you, Adam, is like you have the interesting perspective of when you go and play melee, it is the worst possible version of melee because melee have the worst leveling experience and casters are great, or hunters, right? But melee scale when they get like into the raids and get the gear, so you never get to experience the fun version of melee.
I know, that's what I really want to do in SoD is like actually fucking like level up a melee person class and get into the raid and see how they actually perform.
I haven't done the raid yet. I need to get into the raid.
I know I
have 2 level 25s and I haven't done the raid yet.
There's some weird online like barrier to entry, and people are like 7 out of 7 is hard. Like don't come if you're only 5 out of 7. Dude, the raid is so easy. It's unbelievably easy. I made a video that was like tips on each boss. You could watch that or watch Jordy's video. It's like 8 minutes.
In the description.
Yeah. It'll be dead.
It'll be linked down below, okay?
Yeah. The gatekeeping is wild to me. The gatekeeping is just way too crazy right now in Wrath or in SoD. People are like asking for gear score and logs, and it's like I went into the raid on a hunter, albeit hunters don't need nearly as much gear, but on a naked hunter, I was missing 6 pieces of gear. I was missing both rings, both trinkets. necklace and a helm, and my weapon was like a staff that was from SFK that gives you plus 12 spirit, so Odo's lay staff. And I was able myself to do about 200 DPS almost on every fight, which is like double what your average player is doing in their main raid. And it's like that was just from playing correctly. Hunter is like your pet is doing like 100 of that, so like I just had to play well on the other side. But like even then, it's crazy to me that people are asking for so much when like the world first raid was like the world first in BFD, no joke, it started almost 2 hours after the first guild got in there, and then my guild Noda entered, but only had 9 people at level 25. So then they went the entire way and caught up with 9 people, all completely fresh level 25s, and then brought in their second healer. And then completed the world first and beat the Windforce Power Guild.
I feel like a lot of people are asking for they're asking for your AOTC achievement in Retail WoW in order to join Black Diamond Deeps.
Yeah, exactly.
Level 25. It's so easy. So have no fear. Join a pug, or if you're Crusader Strike Horde, let me know. I'll bring you to a raid.
Let's do it. Yeah.
And it's super easy. So anyone that like, if you're watching or listening and you're worried because people are like gatekeeping you, I told this to a few people on stream today, and by the end of stream they came back and were like, yeah, that was like simple. It was like, don't fear the raid, just go in there. All the mechanics are like baby mechanics. Nothing actually punishes you. Literally, you could get hit by everything.
Raid. Like half the time they have one mechanic in the level 60 raids. Like there's one mechanic you really got to look out for half the time.
Like
my only hang up like right now, like the only reason why like I haven't gone to the raid is because 1, like I've been busy as fuck. 2, I don't know, like I want to get a group of homies together, but all my homies play at different times and shit. It's like I need to pug this.
Also,
and like I'm afraid of pugging because
you go to bed at 7:30 p.m., dude. You go to bed at 7:30, okay?
I turn off the PC at 9 o'clock at night so I can go to sleep and get a good night's sleep so I can go to the gym in the next morning and then do my work day after the gym.
How early are you waking up?
I wake up at like 5.
All right, that's fair. I'm going to bed at like 2 and waking up at like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
But I'm just grinding super hard this year.
Yeah.
So
this year has been a very big grind for a lot of
the worst fitness year I've ever had.
Yeah.
By far.
Hey.
I feel you. You look great anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you because we're talking about the raid and changing classes and everything like that, and I mentioned the pugging thing, and I remembered our mutual friend Mr. GM tweeted something about like the looking for group tool in Season of Discovery. Like I want to ask you like what your take is on like adding some quality of life features that are in retail that we have and maybe bring them over to Season of Discovery. And then do you think that would like kind of open the floodgates open for like a actual Classic Plus expansion type game? Like what do you think the future of Season of Classic looks like with this whole Season of Discovery, you know, and all these changes and stuff? That was a very big question. So
I'm like running it through. Yeah, great question.
Yeah,
great question. For starters, specifically about like the looking for group tool in Wrath of the Lich King, they like hated the idea of adding the LFG tool that like in groups or the dungeon finder that groups you up and sends you to a group. And like in practice, I understand the hate behind it because after a few weeks, it becomes like homogenized where people will just join the group, and if they don't like the group, they just leave instantly, right? So it's very frustrating. And in Classic, the idea, one thing I really like about Classic, and it literally is like part of the core of Classic World of Warcraft, is like you're in this world. You can't just teleport somewhere. You can't flying mount somewhere. If you run into someone, you have to run away from them or fight, you know? It's not like literally the death of the social aspect of Classic, I thought, was when you get flying mounts, because now you literally like someone chases you, it's like, I'm gone. So like the world feels very alive, and that's why you have to like put the effort in to put the group together and run there. I would be totally fine if there's an LFG tool where it would help you put the group together, and then you all still need to run there and talk and communicate. I think that'd be pretty great, honestly. I think like the M+ group finder, I personally really like it. I know that there's inherently, no matter what, always going to be a lot of gatekeeping in a system like that. But for me, I really like the Mythic Plus group finder system, just because I personally am like a tryhard and I love being competitive. So I try to push for like world record keys and stuff.
Yeah.
That was in like BFA. I haven't played much of the Shadow or Dragonflight. Anyways,
it is now.
yeah, one of those kids doing. I did a lot season 1 of Dragonflight. I did a lot of season 1 of Shadowlands, and then I was like, damn, this was really fun, but now the story sucks. But Dragonflight was great. Loved it. But
I think it's a step in the right direction. I think it's moving in the right way.
Doesn't make it a good expansion to me though.
It's moving like kind of back to class. Well, actually now they're making it fucking branch off into Narnia, but whatever. But like, so I like quality of life things if they don't take away from social aspects, if they don't take away from like the magic of the game. Like, one of the biggest qualms most people have when they talk about World of Warcraft Classic is like, I hate having to get world buffs. I understand that frustration. You don't have to get them, but the players that want to pump will always get them. And that's a very social interaction, because it's like, you need to get summons, or you need to know when it's dropping, which sucks, by the way. It's like, oh, it can drop any time in the next 4 hours. You're like, dude, come on.
The Warlock summoning mafia is out of control on Crusader Strike.
Oh, it's yeah, exactly, dude. My druid, because the Star Surge rune one shots everything until level 10. My fresh druid on EU, and I'm leveling in like 4 to 6 minutes every level up to level 10. Is I got summoned instantly to the Star Surge rune, started it at level 1, boom, grab that rune, and then you just run around killing things. So you're level 10.
You get some plus arcane damage gear, and then you're just like one-shotting everything.
You just get the fucking, because you don't even really get that yet at this level. What you do is you just get the world buff.
Oh yeah.
It's 25 spell damage and spell hit. Everything's dead, and you're moving faster. So I really like the ways that players play Classic is super tryhard and super min-maxy in a game that's really easy. And I personally love that flair. I think there are things of quality of life that they can definitely add. I think there's things that make no sense. Like the hunter pet system is, I need to go and train or tame this pet off in Azerbaijan, and it knows bite, and then I need to wait until it's used bite 13 times, and then I randomly, RNG wise, learned how to train my actual pet bite rank 2, you know? It's like, what is that system? That's like, what? That's not fun. Or paladins that have a 5-minute blessing and have to do it individually on every single other player. It's like, that's not a fun mechanic. Like, it's cool, but like, I get it, but like, that's just still, now it's just antiquated. That's in the game for the sake of it being in the game. Like, maybe enhance the lame things that are just like barriers to entry. And then like, I think we could have maybe some systems with like, that would help with looking for group. I no joke, I have the LFG bulletin board, and it's the same thing. It's literally what Blizzard ended up adding to Wrath pretty much. And like, I just opened it right now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting boosted. In Wailing Caverns.
Hey, listen.
And what character?
My rogue, dude. I was a rogue. Rogue started it all for me.
Yeah.
My Thunder Fury Scarab Lord rogue was how I started making content. And now I'm finally leveling the rogue on Season of Discovery. I was level 11 earlier, and now I'm level 20. I haven't touched the character. And a lot of people hate boosting, but I'm also all day today was leveling on EU. So I wanted, like, if I want to have a rogue,
you're like alt tapping between like 8 WoW accounts. I'm pretty sure at one point you're like, oh, and I'm killing something on the druid. I'll alt tab. Oh, now I'm on the hunter again.
Yeah, I had a lot going on today.
Yeah, your old computer would have been on fire.
Oh my god! Luckily, WoW is like so low, like CPU or whatever. But it's there's a lot. Like, Season of Discovery is so fun and so exciting, and it's only level 25 for level cap, so it's like you don't need to rush. Like, even Adam can get level 25. You know? Yeah. So like, there's no rush, and for the people that do want to rush, like, I can just play everything because everything is fun. I want to try it all out. You know?
Do you think
that was go ahead, Sarthe.
Oh, I was gonna say, because you were talking about how like there are certain like issues with classic WoW, like having to buff every person individually, and do you think that they're gonna have a certain like set of runes where it's not necessarily player power, but more like player convenience. Like your
my next question was
your Mark of the Wild affects your entire party instead of you having to like spam Mark of the Wild 5 times. Do you think they're gonna like add stuff like that? Because like I feel like if you're just adding for player power, like you're just it's gonna trivialize so much content at that point.
Or I was gonna ask like if you think Blizzard is actually like open to like making those types of changes to like classes like later on.
I don't think because I think there's someone there that's hard-headed on like this is the way classic is. Not everyone. I don't even think it's like I think Akron is like very open to like quality of life things. I think there's someone there. I don't know who. It's literally not like an insight
Ian,
at all.
Dude.
It's just like
it's Ian. I know
I think
it has to be him.
Ian, man.
I just feel like there's like a classic idealist that's like this is classic and that's I think it kind of necessary, right? They're defending everybody that's like I want no changes, but like Season Discovery is literally changes and it's awesome. And everyone was worried beforehand and now they're like, oh my god, I love this.
I saw so many doomers on Twitter like the world's over, like classic is dead, and those same people are now like, I love SOD. This is the best thing ever. I'm having so much fun. I
had to talk with S-Van for like an hour on his stream, and he was like, I just doesn't feel like classic to me. And now he's having a blast. You know, I remember being like, we just have to, like, we just need to have, exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, just go into it and let's see, like, because like it's their challenge is to keep that classic Magic feel, right? That's the big challenge, and I think so far they've done it. Some things are like kind of far off with like Warlock tanking, but like it's like whatever, right? Like I'm not a purist anyways. Like I don't care. I just want a good game that's fun. But to your point, I think it's a great question because I genuinely think that there's going to be a rune slot. Maybe it's like neck or something, but there's going to be a rune for every class that is an enhancement to the way the class is played. Like, and what I mean by that is just like you're saying, it's like a quality of life rune. You're no longer having to buff all blessings for 5 minutes. You can just press the blessing and it does that entire class or something like in Wrath of the Lich King. But the only way to do it is adding it to a rune slot for 2 reasons, really. The first reason is because if you don't add it to a rune slot, then everyone's going to be like, that's not classic WoW. You changed classic WoW.
Yeah.
And for 2, if they don't add it to a rune slot, they literally, because all versions of classic are on the same code base, they would have to change it on all versions of WoW. So like a lot of those types of changes literally have to happen on a rune, or else it like they would have to add. I mean, it's doable, but they'd have to add like if then, you know, whatever. So they need to pretty much do it on a rune, and I think they will. I think there's things for certain classes that are just really inconvenient, and I think those all get enhanced. Like even like a shaman being able to recall all of their totems, right?
Oh yeah.
Like the simplicity of that, I don't think that comes out as like a full rune. Or like a normal rune slot like we're seeing right now. I think it comes out as something like that's a quality of life thing, because if you put something that's going to increase my DPS on that same rune, you would never. Yeah, exactly. And it really sucks because you'd be like, I wish I had this. So I think they do. I think every class gets. I think it's 1. That's my guess. I think it'd be 1. Maybe it's more, but I am super optimistic. I was gonna say confident, but like not at all. I have no idea. I'm super optimistic.
I think that's my favorite part about this is like there's like it's classic WoW. Like the classic WoW is classic WoW, but like we don't know. Like it feels we don't know. Like I wish it was 2004 again. I can run to GameStop and buy a book. Like I just want to like get a book that has all of the secrets in it and like read all the secrets. I want to read it. I don't want to go on Wowhead or whatever. I want to like go to the store and buy the game guide like it was back in the day because I didn't know what was happening. That's what it feels like.
You know what I was thinking about recently? In order to like maintain that like sense of discovery and like that little giddy feeling we get when we're logging into Season of Discovery and like not knowing what the fuck is going on and we just explore and learn, they should change the way that every rune is obtained. Like by
consistently?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would be so much work for them, right? That would be
Hey,
sick.
if you want the game to survive, put in the work.
It would have to be like
But I think that's
like
why we're
a
getting
cycle
the
or a
like
loop.
phases.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because we're getting the phases. So like each phase, like it'll be, dude. I don't know
Hey,
how
you're
much you
cool with
played
that,
on
Rune.
launch.
Just let them know. Let them know I said that.
I, launch of Season of Discovery was, I think, one of the coolest things in history of gaming.
Yes.
The Warlock Metamorphosis rune. The amount of hundreds of thousands of Warlocks that were theory crafting and trying the different, like they were literally like fly hacking their way into like Silithus and going into a crazy cave because they remember that there was a carving on the wall back when they saw it in classic World of Warcraft. And they're like, that looks something Warlock like that. That's the craziest, coolest shit that's ever happened. Like that, that is the best, most magical feeling. And very quickly, I refrained from releasing like videos on where the runes were until like a few days later. But very quickly, it all gets kind of figured out. But like that sharing of knowledge, testing things together, that was so fun. I think we're gonna have that magic every one of these phases, and this phase is like 2 months long. You know, it's like whatever, right? We're gonna have that version of magic every one of the phases. I think it'd be cool if they redid the runes consistently, but like we also have to remember, like I love to point this out, but this is like one team, one small team in an office that's doing all of this out of pure love for the game, because they're not like making more money. That team at Blizzard is obviously, but like people aren't like, oh, here's your ridiculous bonus for pulling all-nighters. Like Agron literally hotfixed something. I don't think he did, but someone on the team, and he communicated it. There was like a bug in Ashenvale, and they hotfixed it at like 11 at night on a Saturday night.
Oh
and
my God.
Know he's home with his wife, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, and then he wrote this really in-depth post on like their thought process for it. Like that's just pure love for the game. And at the same time, they have to develop the self-found version of hardcore. They have to maintain hardcore in classic era. And Wrath of Lich King's not even over. They just had PTR for the second to last boss, which like, oh, whatever. And then Cataclysm's coming out. And like, I mean, I hope that I'll be more hyped for it then, but like, everything, my attention, all my excitement is on Season of Discovery, but it's all this one team. And so like they're building the next phase right now, because like they're literally like building it. They're building it while we're playing this. So like all the kinks and everything, there's no beta, no alpha. We don't have to wait 2 years to play it. This is like this magic version of gaming. I don't know if it's ever been done.
It's lightning in a bottle is what it is. It's lightning in a bottle is what it really is right now. Like it's you can't recreate this at all. When you brought up Cataclysm, I had a not even a hot take, but just a take on Cataclysm. It's like to me, Cataclysm isn't classic WoW. It's at that point, like, because the classic world is gone, all the quests are new, the models are new, everything's new. It's essentially WoW 2, and if you really want to level up through the classic or through the Cataclysm leveling experience, like 1 to 85, just play retail WoW and select Chromie time and select the Cataclysm stuff. Like, you can just do that now. You can just do it now. And I don't know, like it's 13. It's close to. It's gonna be 14 years old now, right? It came out in 2010, which is crazy to think about. I was a senior in high school when it came out. But I don't know. Maybe I have the SoD rose-colored glasses on, and I can't see the magic of Cataclysm. But like Dragon Soul, dude, like I don't want to do the left and right balancing act on the Dragon Soul fight, dude.
Spine of Deathwing.
I still have to farm that for the fucking mount, dude, and I hate every second of it. I hate it. I hate that raid.
I've no excitement personally. I don't have a great memory of Dragon Soul raiding. I liked that raid specifically, but I missed like the earlier tiers, like phase 1 of Cataclysm. I remember liking. I liked Firelands and I liked Dragon Soul, but I don't remember what was first or phase 1. It was like Blackwing Foundry,
Blackwing Descent, and then the one with Cho'Gall.
See what that? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
The dungeons were really cool. Like dungeons were really fun. I remember in Cataclysm really liking the abilities. So like tanking and healing and DPSing in dungeons was sick. Mythic Plus is my favorite aspect of World of Warcraft ever. I wish they would add that somehow in Classic. So like if they could add that to Cataclysm, I would play. Right now, my excitement is non-existent personally, but I think that changes when it gets closer, when I get to play the beta. But like I'm also like I'm just literally I'm in love with SoD, and I think as we get like the new phases, it's just going to continue getting better, and it's going to like feel like Classic but fresh, which is like just all I care about realistically. So I'm not like mad if like Kata comes out. I know there's a niche for it. There's a lot of people that want to play it. There's like private servers that are healthy-ish, I guess. I don't know. I actually don't know. I'm pretty sure there is. I can't say names, but I know friends that are working on guides, therefore playing a lot of illegal practices, you know? So it's like people are playing it and prepping and working on things, and I'm just out here having fun in BFD, man, and like open world PvPing, you know? So like, yeah, it doesn't feel Classic to me anymore, like the same Classic. But I don't even know if Wrath does.
Yeah.
At its core, for me.
Like I think the heart and soul of Classic is like in vanilla. You know?
Yeah, it's so much. The second you lose, like it for me, it really is like the second you lose world buffs and you add flying, like, and this is the literal most controversial take, and people hate world buffs so much, but you lose the social aspect. Like you lose hanging out with people and working to get something before outside of the raid. Like once you add flying, the only time you hang out with people is in the raid. And like in the open world, you're not out there farming anything, especially now. People are all buying gold, and like, so the open world is dead. It's just bots, you know, and like, damn it. So like,
speaking of like of like that kind of like progression of how it becomes more of a single player type game as you get these as you get like, you know, no world buffs, flying mounts, then you have, I mean, you get in Cataclysm, you get like, it kind of gets more and more fragmented. You get transmog, so like your character's appearance doesn't necessarily really matter anymore. And I love transmog. I love transmog in retail WoW. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Transmog sluts.
Is to like farm transmog. I love it. I love putting a good set together. You know, it's like the scene in The Grinch where he's like, ooh, like I have to look good before I raid. I have to, man.
Just not in Classic though.
But not in Classic. Like in Classic WoW, like, I like your gear is like when you see somebody and they have like the Obsidian Edge blade, or they have like Ash Candy, and you're like, oh my! You see the hunter with Ash Candy, you're like, oh my, this guy again. But you're like, oh my gosh, he has it. He has the sword, and it's, you don't have to inspect him to see what it was transmog to be. Like, it is what it is. Yeah. And just something about that is like, it brings back memories of like inspecting people in Ironforge as a kid. You're like, man, like this guy has shoulders. What shoulders are these? These are fucking cool. Like, I want these shoulders. How do I get these? It brings back that magic.
That visceral feeling of seeing someone and being like, I know what they're wearing, you know, and like seeing, especially if like someone is chasing you down, you're like, oh no, he is so geared. I can just tell. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like that. Or you just get into a raid or a group with someone and you're like, oh my god, dude, look at this guy. That doesn't, you don't have that at all once you get transmog. And I love transmog. I love having like really cool looks. But yeah, I do think it takes away, and that's like not even just of this, it takes away of the social aspect, but it just doesn't feel as classic. That is like one of the biggest, and I think transmog is such a good thing. Like, that's like a quality of life, but not like one thing they could add as quality of life that like I think doesn't take away at all from the game and only makes the game better. Dude, give me fucking dual spec.
Yeah.
What is the argument against?
It's just the gold sync of the game. It's just a gold sync. That's all it is.
Yeah, but the people that are respecing consistently, like, they're buying consumes and stuff anyways, and they are doing things probably to get the gold anyways. So like the gold sync is it literally is just gatekeeping the people that want to like casually play and hop on and be like, oh, I'll do a PG and then I'll do the raid later, you know?
Have you seen?
I think it's
speaking of like gold stuff, like in general, like have you seen like any GDKPs for Black Fathom Deeps already coming up? Is that like already a thing? I haven't really been paying attention because I haven't done the raid yet. But like
yeah.
I don't know.
Ompy is running like 12. He leveled 5 shamans at the same time on like 5 accounts. So you could see all of them on screen. And now he's doing that with like hunters and warriors and stuff. Ompy's already doing like 12 GDKPs a week, a reset every 3 days. The raid takes 30 minutes with like an okay group.
Really? You're joking me.
Yeah, it's super fast. It doesn't.
It's faster than like a really bad SFK run, is what you're saying.
It's very. I mean, but it could also take you 2 hours because you could be stuck on like the second to last boss, because people don't understand it. Just like watch one quick video, and you'll be like, wow, that was so easy. That's how we deal with it. Yeah. But like literally, it straight up, if you get in there and it like takes, I would say on average, maybe a slow average group, like it's like 40 minutes, sure. Like I had a group, that fresh hunter that dinged 2 days ago. We weren't even paying attention. It wasn't even just me that dinged. We had a mage and a warlock that had also not done anything since hitting level 25. They had dinged hours before. So 3 of us that are completely like naked, and we go in there 22 minutes.
Jeez.
Which is like kind of speed runny, but not really, because we didn't do anything other than just keep moving. Like we stopped for drinking even, and then it was like, all right, let's just press W a little bit. So like the raid is really, really short. I think that is also nice because it's really accessible to people. I personally think I'm missing out on a lot of the social aspect of this phase because like the raid is so short and it's only 10 man that like you're only together with those people every few days for like a little bit of amount of time, whereas like one of the social aspects of raiding in a guild was like, oh, we're together for hours all the time, working together for things, and like there's a ton of us and we're all doing the same thing. Right now it's like, all right, well, you're in the raid, log in, all right, let's head there, all right, let's go, and all right, see you next time. That's it, you know. So like I would like there to be larger size raids in like next phase and stuff, but I know that's like a niche take because it's convenient for people and it's really easy to put together a pug. Like it's a lot less punishing. The raid's very easy, less punishing. It's like just go in, it's done, and you're like, that was it. And you're like, yeah.
I think as we like get more leveled up and we get more abilities and discover more runes, like as they in the next season, right? Like I'm sure like the raid size is probably going to be bigger. Like now that you mentioned it, actually, just because like we're low level now, essentially, right? Like that's probably why the raid is so like smaller compared to what we're used to. So like I'm sure that like as we progress into the seasons, like the raids will get like a little bigger and bigger.
It'd be cool to see like Nomergon be a 20-man raid, and then the level 50 man be a 30-man raid, and then the level 60 be a 40-man raid, and like you kind of like as you grow as in your character level, like also your group size will also grow because you need more people to tackle this new challenge that they're putting into the game. I think that'd be a cool way for them to like kind of help teams kind of grow, because I mean like getting together a 10-man group is pretty easy. Like finding 10 people, especially with how populated the servers are and how many people are playing and want to do the raid, it's probably pretty straightforward, pretty easy, especially if you're like not gatekeepy at all. If you're just like, yeah, anyone can come. Like if you're max level, like we'll figure it out. Let's go. Let's have fun. And then, but getting together a 40-man pug is probably way harder to do.
Definitely.
Just
like
numbers wise.
And that's like one of the things I think is like kind of like cool about this phase is like it's so accessible. This current phase is like the epitome of accessible for people. Like anyone can do it. Anyone can do the dungeon. Anyone can do the raid. I could literally just look for, as long as I get 2 healers, give me 2 healers and give me, I don't know, 1, maybe 2 tanks.
Just get 1 shaman tank. You'll probably be fine.
And and then I could put together, literally I could take 9 or 7 shadow priests. We could get through it, and we could do it. We 100% could do it. It's all about like a easy, quick raid leading, and it's so minimal in the amount of things you need to do to raid lead it too. So like, yeah, I think it'd be nice to see them go up in sizes, because it would be like, now I'm playing with you guys also. Like right now, like everyone has, like, you have your little clique, which just like makes a whole guild. My guild on Crusader Strike has like 12 raid signups, and like everyone is a raid leader. I'm like, it's so cliquey. It's so cliquey instead of like feeling like a guild together. And so I just, that's something that's currently for me missing, is more of that social aspect. I just leveled my character on EU this week, and that's where I'm starting to get like a lot more of that. Like we talk about strategies for like things in the future, or ideas for things in the future.
Why
But,
EU?
like, this is, I say this, all of the best guilds in classic World of Warcraft are on EU.
Okay.
It's like, it's not like a personal opinion thing. It's just, it is a fact. Like all of the best guilds are there. Not all of the best players, but all of the best guilds. And this is like, from the words of EU players, they've got like better like support systems, like healthcare or social security and stuff, and they can just like hang out at home and play it all the time. It's like a real thing. So like the best players, like the guilds that can play all the time and like go hard and min max things like crazy, they're over there. And if you look at like any of the statistics or Warcraft logs or any of the world records or speed runs, every best guild is on EU, and it's like not really close. And those players are who I'm playing with in SoD again. So like I'm playing with like friends. They're all just like good friends of mine, but like it's also friends that are really good at the game, and it's fun to have like like-minded people. Like on NA, I just play with like IRL friends, and like we just like casually mosey through the raid and like kick it. And then on EU, we casually mosey through the raid, but it takes us 20 minutes, right? On like fresh characters.
Hey, Shock, let's go to EU, man.
Listen, I was already thinking about getting 2 WoW subs just so I could have Horde and Alliance on Crusader Strike. Like I was I should have 2. Like I should just have
I've got
2.
7, man. They've got me.
Well, because but then I'd have to get 4 because I had to go in for my wife. So then we'd have like 4 WoW accounts all running at the same time, and it's
a business expense, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what business you're talking about, man. This is
this is podcast.
Oh yeah, big numbers. Dude,
it doesn't need to make money. You can just write it off.
Yeah, exactly. Good point. Yeah. All right, I'll run it by the accountant. Yeah, I'll run it by the accountant tonight. Yeah, dude. I'm just, you said it perfectly. You're in love with Season of Discovery. Like I'm in love with WoW right now. Like, it's all I can think about. It's like, if
I can't put it down. Yeah,
it's all I can think about, man. Like I'm working, and I'm
why I was like so hyped to keep playing, and like I wanted to play like while we were fucking doing this thing, because I decided to make a paladin, and I'm like,
you just started it?
I just started paladin. Like I don't know if you know this, but I made the SFAN paladin guides that came out, and I was and he was just like talking about how he was talking like, oh, paladin is so good, paladin is fucking like serotonin simulator, and I'm like, I don't know like, what you're talking about. It's just paladin's boring as fuck. But I just made one,
and you're loving it.
Shit, like I'm just giga pumping through Elwyn Forest, and I don't want to put it down. I'm forsaking Bake, and I'm gonna play the human paladin. It's so good. I'm only level 8, and I'm getting this reaction.
buy a green 2-handed sword. Have a friend that gives you Wind Fury. You're a god. You're gonna love it. It's like, I'm so happy that they redid Ret Paladin and made it a fun class. I have no idea how SFAN was such a masochist to want to like play Paladin beforehand, dude. You'd auto attack simulator. Holy shnikey.
I mean, if you think about it, it really is a perfect streamer class to play because you don't have to do anything. You can just sit there.
You're never paying attention.
Just talk to your chat the entire time. It's actually like a great business decision to be a paladin main as a streamer.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
That's true. I would just go crazy. I would lose my mind. But I really want to level a paladin. I'm leveling warrior, rogue, mage, so I can boost myself, and then paladin.
Yeah.
I'll get it all done before we lose 25. But it looks so fun. I'm glad you're loving it. Do you have Divine Storm?
I just got a 2-handed sword before we started this.
Oh, you should get find someone to summon you out to get Divine Storm. Oh,
yeah. Where do you get that? I mean,
I don't even know. I don't know.
Discover it.
Don't even know.
You just gotta go discover it.
Gotta discover it, yeah.
Discover it on Google, I guess, is what most
discover it on Wowhead.
Yeah. Okay, listen. I have some beef to pick with Wowhead.
Hit it.
Searching on Wowhead is impossible. You just search on Google and it takes you to the correct page on Wowhead, but if you try to search on Wowhead, it's impossible to find anything. For whatever reason, Google can find it, but Wowhead can't find it on their own site. It's so
Wowhead, great SEO, great SEO.
Yeah,
people doing it. I'm a Wowhead guide writer now. I'm doing feral druids.
Nice.
And someone goes in and does SEO after I finish the guide. So it's here's everything correct.
Their SEO is amazing.
Now make it searchable.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel you. I'm really good at navigating Wowhead now at this point. I even know tricks for copying things and importing them in different but that's just it was all just it's very similar to C++ for coding, so looking at the back end was very easy for me. But yeah, I feel it sometimes is some if I don't know what the quest is called or something, or the item's real name, I literally will Google it and then
it'll
first
find
link
it
will
right
be the
away.
Wowhead guide.
Yeah.
I even do that it's even easier for me to find when I start a new character and I'm where's these runes? I literally do warrior runes SoD or SoD warrior runes. And then the Wowhead guide comes up instead of going to Wowhead and then clicking classic and then clicking classes and then clicking runes and then clicking warrior runes.
Yeah.
No, I just do that one click.
What would be your dream rune that they would add to the game? What would be the number the best rune that you could, because you're a hunter main mainly, correct, in classic?
So I was rogue main in classic, hunter main in TVC, DK main in Wrath. Right now I started on hunter in SoD just because I've leveled 9 rogues to level 60 in classic World of Warcraft, with Era, and 2 on hardcore. So I've played so much rogue. So I was I'm gonna start with hunter because the runes that they got looked fun, and also it just isn't such an easy laid back leveling class. And I am loving hunter. For me as a hunter, the best thing they could ever add would be and this would screw PvP, if a rune were took away the dead zone so that I could melee weave instantly. Because in TBC there's this way of melee weaving that you literally take a step in, melee, take a step out, start casting your auto shot and then steady shot again in a perfect in-between timer so that you don't clip those at all within 0.4 or 0.3 of a second. Every time. You have to make it in that every time for it to be really beneficial. It's all moving. You get so used to this movement. It's such a muscle memory. And then people started using literally a script that would do it for them. And that's super lame. So if they added that would be the coolest thing for me, in my opinion. I think supporting melee weaving, because it just adds some skill gap to the playstyle. Adding some sort of skill-based playstyle is always fun. And then for rogues, it would be giving us AoE. Blade Flurry is a 2-minute CD. It's insanely strong, but 2-minute cooldowns in a speed run is garbage. The raid world records right now are 14 minutes. You get to use it 7 times.
Once a boss, basically, is what it would be, yeah.
And it's even more efficient on trash than bosses in a speed run, so you don't get to use it on any bosses. And so you'd have to time it out for which pull. So realistically, you'd probably get 4 or 5 uses. Rogues have no AoE. And that's me, though. I guess you casters can go get some fun stuff, too.
I'm not even
What
really
would you guys
I'm not even really a caster. I just happened to start out with Moonkin. I was I'm gonna play Boomkin. Why not? They were always the meme class of classic WoW. They were always out of mana. So but now we have 0 mana Wrath, which is super fun. And then now you don't even need to use it because you just use Star Surge the entire time.
You just Star Surge and it's dead.
Yeah. You just one shot easy. And yeah, so I think the perfect like rune for, I want to say for like maybe a tank shaman. I think it'd be cool to get like some sort of shield bash ability, like almost like almost like an offhand attack, like you're like a lava lash
that hits hard, yeah.
But a shield bash ability, or yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's literally,
like
I was thinking about it, and then I was
little,
envisioning it, and I was like, it would like hit hard on your single target, right? It'd have like a cooldown, and it's like, that would be sick. That's a great idea. That's literally awesome. I love that. All right, Adam.
I mean, off the top of my head, because you're talking about AoE, like that's the one complaint that I have about Shadow Priest.
Yeah.
Is that there's like barely any AoE. Like I know in retail there's one ability that you can just like lob some like little orb of something and then it just explodes everywhere. That's cool. Maybe they can add something like that. But like, or just like something that like dots up everything and then you can, I don't know, some kind of AoE for Shadow Priest.
I think Shadow Priest literally has Mind Seer, which is like it targets one mob and you channel it like Mind Flay and it pulses on everything around you.
Oh yeah, they have that in retail and they put that in as a rune. You're right. I didn't get that rune yet. Fuck.
I think it's one of the. I think it's one of the ones that's like really, really a hard barrier to entry. I think it's like the one that's like honored reputation, or it might be the one from like the shredder parts. Yeah,
the shredder part one is. Like I understand why they have the. I mean, like it makes sense that you kind of like have to sell the things and you get the rune and like it's like a little flavor thing. But man,
I'm not doing it. I haven't done it on any character.
None of the runes of the classes that I play are like worth it for me to go either spend the gold on those or to go farm them. Like I don't care that much about. Like I'm not gonna play bear tank, so I'm not gonna go get the survival. I think it's survival of the fittest you get from that vendor. Like I'm not gonna play.
I wouldn't even run that too. I'm like I'm too lazy. Like,
just listen. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Just give me another DPS rune, and I'll just do that instead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, Shadow Priest does have some, but yeah, you're super. It's griefed. Yeah, I think they're gonna make it easier. I think they're gonna make all of those easier if you don't have them by the end. I think.
Well, I think they already nerfed. They already nerfed the barrier to entry to them because it used to be like friendly.
Yeah, they did.
It used to be honored, and now it's just friendly. So you only
have
to
they made
get, like,
it a lot easier.
10 supply crates or whatever it's called, or whatever. Because I think you can get like 500 rep for each one.
800 for some. 800. Yeah. So like it really doesn't take that. It's not that long of a grind, and classic WoW is like always about like long grinds. So it's. Like complaining about it is like being a baby. I'm just lazy.
Yeah, I just don't want to do it.
I just want to play another class. You know, I just want to level up another character and play another class. Like that's
been the most fun for me. It's just like playing a new thing. Like, oh yeah, let me just make a warrior. Let's see what let me use Victory Rush because Victory Rush is fun. Like, and it's I keep moving. I don't have to like eat. I killed it. Okay, on to the next thing. I get a little bit of health. On to the next thing. It's been great, man.
That's why I want to play every single class because like I'm an alcoholic and I want to just explore what everything has to offer. You know what I'm saying? So
now I just got to do the raid. I just got to do the raid in it. That's all.
Yeah,
that's all
I want to do the raid before the new year, chocolate. So
you guys are gonna like it. Like it's really easy. Really easy. I mean, Mitch Jones went in there today with the pug and they wiped for hours. But like, I don't know how he got such bad people to play with. Like, just have one person that knows the raid leading, and it's super simple. So just I would just literally I would pug it like this weekend because it's you'll be surprised. You're like, oh, why was I waiting? Because it's cool, it's fun. There's awesome loot. I think they did a really good job with the raid as it's a barrier, like an entry level raid, right? We're level 25. It's like fast. It's supposed to be 3 minutes.
It's supposed to be easy and fun. It's supposed to be like anyone can do this. It's
yep.
Get in here and do the content.
Exactly, and that's exactly what it is. And I'm like, I love that. I think it's great. I think they did a good job. It's funny too because I saw this on Reddit this morning when I woke up. There was like someone cropped the two posts that were right next to each other and they had like a bunch of upvotes and comments. One was like, this raid is too easy, there's nothing to do in the game, and then the next one was like, the raid is too hard, this isn't like classic. It's like both of them with a bunch. Yeah, it's like just make up your mind. But the raid it's very simple, it's very straightforward, and it's fun. So and you can get griefed, which I think like the fact that you can get griefed by like one person has a debuff, like a Baron bomb. If you guys remember from Molten Core, Baron would put the bomb on you, and if you didn't run away from people, you would explode and kill them. The first boss is a Baron. It's a water Baron, Baron Aquanus. So he has a version of that, thematically perfect, where you get the bomb and you have to jump into the water, and if you don't, you'll blow up, and everyone else will get knocked off their platforms and fall into the water. It doesn't wipe the raid. Just really funny and annoying, and you get griefed. And the idea that like you can get griefed in those situations, for me, adds this like love, this flair. It's like those highs and those lows, that frustration. You're like, no, dude, my parse or whatever. Like, who cares? But like that idea is similar to world buffs. It's this pseudo hardcore action of each raid where it's like if you mess up, something bad happens, but you don't have to start all over, you know, and you just come back 3 days later. Like those stakes, it adds stakes, which I think is like stakes is like the main reason why I think raiding in classic WoW was fun, because it's like it could go wrong and then you're like bummed until the next raid and you're excited to do it, you know, and like you have to see like the highs and the lows. You guys will like it.
I'm excited. Yeah. What time do you raid on Horde on Crusader?
2 p.m. PST, 3 p.m. server, 5 p.m. Eastern.
I mean, shock with that.
4 p.m. my time. I think I could. I got off work.
I can make the raid whatever time I want. I'm the raid leader.
It's true.
I have multiple raids.
Listen,
I can, and my rogue that I started today is level 20 right now and almost 21.
Oh shit! Okay.
And I just got leggings of the Fang because we did my booster. Kevin, Kevin has been making like the boosting guides on YouTube. Yeah. He's been boosting me, and he just ran us over to Wailing Caverns. So.
Oh shit! Okay.
Dude, I remember like when I love Wailing Caverns. It's one of my favorite leveling dungeons in all of classic WoW. Just like I remember the first time stepping into the cave and you're like, oh, like it's a giant skull rock and it looks super cool. Yeah. And you step in and there's like the secret caves above for like the quest givers and you're like,
that was the coolest.
How do you get up there? Like they're like you see people jumping down. You're like, what are they doing? And just like going in, you're like, oh man, like there are so many elite mobs here, and I'm like scared for my life because as a horde player, your first one is literally in your main city. You're like, oh, I just walk in. Like there's no danger here. I'm just in Ragefire Chasm. And then you go into there, you're like, oh man, like I have to fight to get here. Well, I remember just in SoD, I saw somebody and they had the Venom Strike mace, and I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, ooh, that guy is geared. And like, it's like, oh, he has the snake mace. It's so cool, and it's like it's not even like really that great of a weapon, but it's just like it's iconic. And like if you see somebody has it, you're like, man, like I don't know, like I can't say it enough, man.
And if he got it while leveling, it's like that's also huge. Part of like you see like the transmog thing. It's like you see the person with that weapon, you're like, whoa, he got lucky. What the heck? How come I didn't get lucky?
I got like a random blue mace that dropped, like a world drop that I got in Red Ridge, and I'm like, oh shit! It was like a +5 strength, +3 stam, one hand mace, and I'm like.
That's sick.
I'm insane. Is
that Beasel's Basher? What did you get?
I don't know. It's like diamond something. I don't know. I can't.
Okay.
But it didn't really. It's not really selling for that much on the auction house. So I'm like, oh, like I don't really care about 5 gold. I have 20 gold on my character already. I'm just gonna equip it. Like, I'm gonna use it. It's an upgrade for me. Like I'm gonna use it and have fun with it. So, dude, I can't wait to see what they are continuing to cook up for us, man. Like. They're cooking. They are cooking.
Yep. They are for sure cooking, and I'm very hyped. It's the best. This is like it feels so good to play this version of the game. Yeah.
Like
the funniest thing is like talking to your old friends from like middle school that used to play WoW with you, and you're like trying to get them to get back into WoW. Like you've been spending all these years telling them to get back into WoW, but now it's like really serious. It's like, okay, this is actually the time.
Trust me, I don't like it.
I convinced my coworker to get back into WoW. He's like,
you ruined his life.
He's like, dude. He's like, I can't do it, man. And I was like, dude, trust me. You have to do it. And he's like, I'm so in. And I was like, I got him. Another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have like a bunch of real life friends like reach out to me now and they're like, dude, what server are you on? I'm like, oh my God, are you sure you have the time to do this? Because if I had a normal people job, I would be fucked.
Yeah, having a normie job is definitely hindering my WoW progress. Let's just put it that way.
I don't have a normie job, and it's very severely hindering my WoW progress.
Yeah.
You just gotta make
Dude,
your job
yours is
WoW
like
easy.
sleepless. That's like mine. It's like once I'm done streaming, I'm like making videos until I go to sleep at 2 a.m. Like I'm like nonstop, you know? And like you're in like that realm. It's like it's like that job is just so on, you know?
I'm so busy making content about the game to actually
that
play
you can't play the game. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
I had that with Diablo for a while. My friends would meme. They were like, "Dude, I came up with this idea." One of my mods and one of my like really good friends, Falcon, would be like, "Dude, I just found this thing. Try this." And I would make a video about it. I would log in. He would carry me to do it because he was level 100 and I'm stuck at level like 60 because I don't have time. And I would make the video and I would spend all night doing it and getting the right B-roll. And then like literally, it's like, well, then the next day, like that was my whole playing the game for the whole day.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
You're just playing vicariously through other people at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, well, again, man, thank you for coming on the show and taking time out of your schedule, and you're a very busy person, so I appreciate you hanging out with us for a little bit, man. It was a ton of fun.
The fact that you just wrapped up a 6-hour stream and then you did this with us, like Jesus Christ, like thanks, man.
No, thank you guys. Seriously, thank you guys for having me. I was like, seriously, I was super hyped meeting you guys at BlizzCon, and I think we're gonna like stay in touch and be friends and hang out and play games. Dude. And literally, let me know. I'll be level 25 by the end of the weekend, but I'll be gone for Christmas, and then I'll be back the day after. And thank you for having me, and happy holidays.
Yeah, man. Thanks for getting. And if you like the video, it's gonna be on YouTube, so like the video, follow Sarthe if you haven't done so already. This was my favorite episode so far,
ever.
And favorite episode so far. This is episode 2, and it's the best one so far.
Yeah, suck it, number 1. Who was the guest on number 1?
It was just us two, man. That was it.
Oh, those guys suck. No,
it was horrible.
Well, we did this. We started this like kind of a long time ago, like during the Shadowlands alpha phase, and like we were getting all of our friends and everybody and their mother on, like talking about like, the hype or whatever. And then like after Shadowlands, we just like kind of stopped. But now that like WoW is like good on all fronts, like it's a good time to be talking about WoW. So
now we have a great new name for the podcast, /invite.
Yeah,
what a great name.
Invite. Yeah.
What was it before?
It was a Pugcast, which is also a good name.
It is actually, I like it. But I actually really like it. That was actually pretty great. Yeah.
I told Shock that I was like, dude,
we're bringing it back. We got I got to do something new and fresh, man. Like we got to something new. So /invite was born. But
/invite, guys, if you're watching this, follow the /invite socials, all of them. If you don't, you're gonna get punched in the knee.
We're gonna make you play. We're gonna make you play private servers. We're gonna force you to
play.
We're gonna force you to play.
You're gonna be stuck playing Shadow Priest.
Exactly.
All right. Well, again, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. See you later. Bye.